My name is Hannah Caldarelli, and I will be going over the OL learning outcomes and my portfolio that I created in the capstone course. So to start off, I included a little blurb about myself, where I'm from, what I'm interested in, and what I do in my free time. To the left, you could see a bio and a contact information and also LinkedIn link to connect with me on LinkedIn. To the right, I have my Hootsuite certification. This connects with my social media marketing experience, and that definitely helps in my professional career right now. It's something good to show, especially in a portfolio. To the left, I have listed my education. I have my Bachelor of Arts in Marketing and a minor in Fashion Merchandising. And I also included my Organizational Leadership Master's program. So moving on to my mission, vision, and values. Feel free to look these over. These are some things that I can confidently say I will be carrying out through my professional career. I learned the importance of these in the organizational leadership program and how important it is to carry these with you when you are a leader. Once again, below I have my code of conduct. This is something that I learned of high importance in the organizational leadership program that you should have in your professional career, and that you should embed this into your mind and really carry this out with you throughout your leadership career. Here I have my goals listed. I have my professional goals and my personal goals. For my professional goals, I definitely have short-term and long-term goals. I'd say the first two, to boost my networking abilities and earn my HubSpot certification, those are short-term and things that I want to do within the next year. The last two are definitely some things that I want to complete within the next 5 to 10 years. Lastly, I have included my resume, so I have a professional summary at the very top. I have more of my professional skills listed for employers to see. And then I have included my experience. So I'm currently a marketing coordinator for a security company. I have recently been incorporating my leadership skills that I learned in the OL program into this position and really using my own abilities and carrying out my own ideas and using those skills as well. I have my social media manager and bridal consultant experience listed. And then I also have my 2 marketing internships from Erie, Pennsylvania that I completed when I was in my bachelor's program at Mercyhurst University. So moving on to background and experience, I have listed more professional skills, so I can confidently say that I feel very comfortable explaining these skills and teaching others how to do these, and these are some things that I feel as though I am the best at, and I have learned so much about these skills throughout my bachelor's program at Mercyhurst and especially in the organizational leadership program. So moving on to the organizational leadership program overall, this is when I will be going over the student learning outcomes. So first I have listed a little bit about the organizational leadership program and then what courses are relevant to my career and just a little bit about the program itself. To begin, Leadership Theory and Practice, OL 500, I have listed here my leader philosophy and the leadership and film presentation. This brings me to the very first learning outcome, which is distinguish contemporary leadership theories and models. articulate a personal leadership philosophy, and apply appropriate models to an organizational setting. Throughout this course, we learned about different philosophies and theories, and before this course, I had no idea that there were so many leadership theories and philosophies and different ways to be a leader and different types of leaderships. I found it so interesting to learn about these different types of leaderships. And I can confidently say that I know where I stand in leadership. And as you can see, I have my leadership philosophy here, so feel free to look that over. I have a link here to read more about my personal leader philosophy. I also have my leadership and film presentation listed. The class watched the two popes and attached the characters and their leadership style, and we connected that to the relevant course topics. Next, moving on to organizational behavior, OL 502. Here I have a little blurb about what the course was about and what we learned in this course. I included that I connected the organizational behavior theories to my internship experience in 2019 at the Erie Blues and Jazz Festival. Throughout this internship, I definitely learned about others in a leadership position, and I learned how to communicate with them and how to basically assess their characteristics, which brings me to the very third learning outcome, which is assess the characteristics of self, others, groups, and organizations as an integral part of the process of leadership, including applying ethical and professional standards to the organizational setting. So throughout this, I definitely learned a lot about my leaders in that internship, and I learned how to communicate with them and work with them and assess their behaviors and why they behave the way they do. Feel free to look that over. And also, I included a discussion board sample. Here I have my 8 rules related to decision making and communication. I have listed 4 of them, so feel free to look those over and understand my leadership style. Next, I will move on to organizational communication. Once again, I've included a little blurb here about the course and how I connect it to my professional life. I included skills that I personally learned here. This brings me to the second learning outcome, which is consistently demonstrate exemplary written, oral, interpersonal, and presentation skills for effective organizational communication. Throughout this course, we focused on APA-style exercises and different ways to communicate, such as a professional bio, email, blog, social media, other things like that are very, very important in leadership. I can confidently say that I am more comfortable using these forms of communication when I am a leader, and I learned a lot about writing style and how to communicate in that way when you are a leader. Next, this brings me to the research methods class, OL 504. I have included a blurb about the class, research presentation. Feel free to click that and look at that. And then a research proposal paper. So within this presentation, I am a military spouse, so I always think it's very interesting how military spouses communicate and sort of live their lives together. It's a huge community. So I researched this, and this brings me to the fourth learning outcome, which is engage in independent research by applying critical thinking and inquiry skills in data gathering, synthesis, problem solving, and decision making. So I researched the military spouses, online communication, and how this all works because at the time I was just beginning my military spouse journey. This is definitely something that interested me and I will carry with me throughout my life. Next, moving on to financial operations and analysis, I included a blurb about the class and what I learned. I included what I did learn and how I learned. I am not a finance person, so when this class came around, I was a little bit nervous. But at the very end, I realized how much I learned and how much I grew as a leader, and just knowing this financial knowledge is so very important to implement into your career. I also included a presentation that I included on the bankruptcy of J. Crew Incorporated. Lastly, I included my strategic marketing course that I am taking currently and finishing up. This is something that I wanted to take just because of my background in marketing, and I feel like any marketing knowledge is helpful to me, and I personally love learning, so learning more about marketing whenever I can is very important to me. I have also included a presentation from this course. Next, I have included recommendations. So I have a few books from my leadership courses, Find Your Why, The Remix, and then I've included 2 personal recommendations. These 2 books have helped me in my personal life. So feel free to check those out. I've also included links to them. If you click on the title, you can go to the link on Amazon. These are videos that I find very important into my leadership life. Videos that really stood out to me. I watched all these videos throughout my courses in the leadership program, and these ones definitely stuck out to me, and I can carry with me throughout my professional career. And lastly, I have included a few quotes that have shaped me into the leader I am today, and quotes that I go by not only in my professional life, but my personal life as well. And then lastly, I just have a guest book, so anyone that checks out my portfolio, feel free to leave a comment or something encouraging. I would greatly appreciate that. So thank you so much for listening.